Okay, now we are live on Facebook. Good afternoon and welcome to this new session of the Designscapes and Conference, a new and innovative format which we are developing and testing here for in July, August, and September. Lasting couple of hours, because we know that in the new normal, it's not granted that everyone can stay longer to the internet than a couple of hours. My name is Francesco Molinari. I am the project manager of Designscapes, a project coordinated by ANCI Toscana, funded by the European Union under the Horizon 2020 program, and now coming to its final period of lifetime with this final unconference until the 30th of September, when we will have the final session with special guests, and you will get more information soon. Designscapes was a project inspired by the need to outline the importance of design for private and public sector organizations all around Europe. The starting point, the reason for the European Commission's call under the Horizon 2020 program was that too few organizations from the private and the public sector in Europe actually take stock of the benefits of design for their innovation processes. And this is common to almost all the European countries, but particularly for Southern and Eastern Europe. And we are proud as the Designscapes Consortium of having demonstrated that it is possible to counteract this negative trend by a very parsimonious approach. Our approach was based on the launch of a call for small grants, each being not bigger than 25,000 euros, which we distributed to 99 private and public sector organizations from the majority of European member states. One of the winners of this call will be this afternoon with us. His name is Marco Berni. He is affiliated with Co-Design Toscana. The two terms together already mean something, but he will introduce himself better than I can do. Marco Berni and Co-Design Toscana were the successful proposers of an initiative which is named Start Park, and it is the topic of today's presentation. Start Park is about involving citizens through co-design in the innovation, in the urban innovation, having to do with improving the urban climate and the urban quality of living. This reference to the urban is the missing piece which characterizes our project Designscapes. We started already 4 years ago when the project had its kickoff with the assumption that by embedding design-enabled innovative projects in the urban dimension, better results might be achieved. And we are proud of presenting today one of the most prominent examples of winners of our call, which with a very limited budget was able not only to develop a methodology for citizen engagement in urban renovation, but also, and more importantly, to document the possibility of transferring the adoption of these methodologies and tools from one city to another, which was the ultimate goal of our project idea. So now I will leave the floor to Marco for his presentation. I apologize in advance if the quality of my connection is poor. I will leave it to him to continue.
Okay. I think Francesco is going down with the connection, but he will be soon reconnected. So I think that I can start presenting Star Park project. That is indeed what Francesco said. Exactly. It's involving users through co-design. So collaborative design methodologies and approaches in order to envision and design actually urban green spaces that are in some way resilient to climate change, and it goes in the adaptation intervention dimensions of this topic. Is exactly this. We co-design urban green spaces, so urban parks, urban private yards, and etc. for the resilience of our urban dimension and the adaptation of this ecosystem to the climate change impacts. So I will start from the beginning because Star Park has another peculiarity that is a full bottom-up approach, a full bottom-up innovation, because we started in a so-called participatory global hackathon event, the Climathon, promoted by Climate Geek, where we replied to this design challenge, let's call it design challenge. That was, how can we stimulate citizens to become aware of climate change and turn this awareness into resilient actions? The answers was exactly Star Park, and were a set of principles that guide our, let's say, form and concept to an innovation. The principles are indeed these, very synthetically: climate change adaptation, resilient communities, co-design and co-design thinking, green and blue infrastructure, a continuous change that our time imposed to us, and gamification as a medium to work on this process. So a lot of concepts and a lot of stakeholders that helped us in growing and applying all these principles in urban dimensions. Here there is something from more institutional partners and designscapes as well, to local partners, to public administration of Prato and Lucca cities that are the two cities where we applied the Star Park. And we are a multidisciplinary team. We are part of Co-Design Toscana. We are part of Iridra. Star Park is a spin-off that merged two, let's say, key capabilities. So the design thinking and collaborative design knowledge about also sustainable urban development, with that is the specific areas of Co-Design Toscana, with the knowledge on environmental engineering and nature-based solution, that is the area of Iridra. So intertwining these two dimensions gives light, let's say, to Star Park. So a design-based innovation for urban, sustainable, and let's say resilient futures. The activities, what we are doing with Star Park. We talk about urban innovation and green cities. We put in place a research, engagement, and co-design process where we arrive at some concrete outputs like pre-feasibility technical output that are extremely useful for public administration or private commitment. At the same time, we talk about people. We make community building activities. We try to transfer crucial concepts about climate change impacts, climate change risks, but also design attitude and design mindset. Then we are able to, as also a result of this design process, we are able to assess and measure impact of our of these actions. So there is an indicator that we developed thanks also to Designscapes, and that is able to measure socio-cultural impact, economical and environmental proxies for the impact that we deliver to territories. And also there is all this engagement side. We make communication, we make corporate social responsibility for private commitment from private enterprises that want to invest in our process. We make urban branding with a sustainable and collaborative focus. Indeed, we let's say we follow the sustainable development goals trajectories, and in particular we talked about how we can be part of communities and cities that are sustainable, how we can fight against climate change, what is about water management and the quality of life, what is about also well-being. Indeed, Star Park is, and I thanks Francesco, because said it is a prominent project. Actually, I thank him, and I can also say that we have been awarded and not only funded by Designscapes, but also awarded by Climate Geek and the Center for Mediterranean Integration. And so we have something to say. We have been able to share our ideas and our process, and for this we've been awarded. It's a design-based process. This is one of the main innovation. In particular, we use design thinking and co-design merged together. So an approach to problem solving and to transfer design mindset that is also very strategic, that is able to provide also unconventional solution with the collaboration principle that is always at the base of our activities. So we are able always to actively engage all territorial stakeholders. So putting these approaches let's say on the same level of the climate change risks like flood, droughts, heat islands, the lack of biodiversity, and so the need for support it, and the water quality. So putting them together and using the concept of nature-based solution, and in particular the so-called green and blue infrastructure, so that a mixture between architectural and engineer solutions that try to use the natural paradigm to let's say design our urban ecosystems in a way that are able to adapt to climate change. So some examples are these two GBI, the phyto depuration, so a system that is able to depurate grey water, exploiting plants and microorganism action, or sustainable urban drainage systems. So way to, let's say, drain water, rainwater, but not only, and let it flow, let's say, with low impact. Other example of green and blue infrastructure are the water plaza or urban gardens. So all these kind of infrastructure that are embedded in our city and start to dialogue with us. They are exactly part of our cities, and they are able to adapt the impact of climate change. And this is the striking and very important feature that we should understand, that our city should be from now on designed with this paradigm in mind. These are some examples for example, in Rotterdam, the water plaza that is able to fill itself when high and strong rain happens. And also there is, for example, the Turner Spring Park in Portland, so a sort of urban garden, but that is able also to manage the water cycle. So after having given this initial framework and this initial overview of what Star Park is about, I go deep in what we were able to do, thanks also to Designscapes grants. And the Designscapes, I would say, sense, because what Francesco said is extremely important. And what Francesco and the others from Designscapes built was very, very important for us. Talking about design for sustainable urban development, talking about innovation that can be a hybrid form of innovation, public-private, social, but with a focus on our urban ecosystem, is extremely important. So thanks to this conceptual framework that Designscapes gave to us, we were able to apply Star Park in Prato and in Lucca. First of all, I will present the design process, a process that is based on three main phase. The community and participation moment, the green one, the co-design moments, and the co-creation moments. Sorry. This is a design process that embed design methodologies in order to fulfill and achieve the outputs of Star Park. So it's a non-linear process that see a lot of research, initial research on sociocultural context, but also on environmental and territorial let's say, state of the art. It's an initial divergence where we envision solution and we start talking about green and blue infrastructure. Then there is an important part of co-designing things that we used a gamified approach. We developed a game in order to co-design with people possible futures. Then we also make some co-creation activities in order to learn by doing. So we start building some green and blue infrastructure. And at the end, we arrive at a convergence, at some synthesis of what emerged in the second and third step. And we are able to deliver output with I would say high impacts and let's say multidimensional impacts. So this is an example. We go in neighborhood of cities where we don't arrive and apply our, let's say, knowledge and our process, but we engage with local association. For example, here in Prato, we engaged with CUT, another local association that has a strong relationship with the quarter, and they do a great work. So we collaborate very close to them in order to make research, understand the peculiarities of these territories. Then we start making activities, community building, education activities with also youngest and children, civic engagement. As I said, here it was a work cafe session with also here a diversified targets. Then this is maybe one very strategic asset of Star Park, one on which we are building even the future of Star Park. It's about its co-design dynamics that are mediated by gamification. We conceptualized, designed, and developed a card game. A card game where we represent green and blue infrastructure, where we represent planimetry, so the context where we can imagine collectively and play collectively. We design activities, urban furnitures. We design an entire set of elements that try to simulate what we have in the urban environment in order to co-design with people our green spaces, our local and let's say close green space with another mindset, a resilient one. So we talk about future trajectory, risk from climate change, etc. So we start play with people. We play and we develop a card game guidelines in order to make it accessible. We design a real cardboard where people can understand, or at least getting to know what is a green blue infrastructure, how it can interact with that specific urban spaces, which are the constraints, which are the opportunities. And so this game that is an hybrid asset between design thinking, let's say dynamics, and environmental development of our cities, we are able to arrive to let's say urban future, urban scenario, because these are all planimetries that have been co-designed with people, all different. So after this phase, we also want to make a lot of learning by doing. Maybe it can go even in parallel with the co-design phase, this co-creation workshops. So we started building stuff with people. We started making educational activities in an hybrid way, because also last year has been very, very difficult even in this sense, because we had a lot to deal with all the pandemic constraints. So we shifted all our activities even online, and this is a sort of envisioning session made with online tools. At the end, so of these two, let's say divergence, but even very design-oriented phases, we go again in the fields. We go again with people to synthesize all the insights, all the scenarios that have emerged. So we start making other activities. We start even enrich a scenario of how to live these green places with green blue infrastructure, with resilient communities. So this is another activities of this last phase of convergence. So this was the design process. Let's say that after the synthesis moment, there is a iteration phase that is internal or with strategic stakeholders, where we produce some output and we let's say enable who the main stakeholders, so public administration or private big corp, we enable them to understand what the co-design process have produced. So we give them, let's say, a StarPark kit where there is all the reports from the socio-cultural research, from the insights of the workshop, etc. There is also the card game, so they can even try other combination. There is a pre-feasibility study, so a high detailed output that is very useful is even for design and architectural entities that could go into procurement processes. So we produce stuff like this, also with functional areas or thematic areas. We highlight not only green and blue infrastructure, but even social activities that could emerge, all let's say, in respecting what the eco-design, the collaboration with the citizenship has produced. We arrive even at this level of details. So producing pre-feasibility study of specific green blue infrastructure. And also we give a representation of how GBI can react to climate change impacts with renders and not only. Another output that we are able to deliver is the impact assessment through this factor that we developed, that is a multidimensional factor that is able to track outcomes and outputs then on sociocultural, socioeconomical, and environmental dimensions. About the environmental dimension are all proxies. I mean, we use let's say the card game and the all the characteristics of the green and blue infrastructure that we co-design in order to develop proxies. But at the end, we can assess what we have done in a very let's say specific and also in a form that can be communicated very well. And exactly this is the last part. So we give even a space, a virtual space where people can interact, people can read, people can discuss and understand what is a city that is, let's say, co-designed with a nature-based paradigm in mind. So this is it. If you want to follow us, there is the website, that there are a lot of social accounts, almost everything that there is. And I would say that it's this is StarPark, and I will stop the sharing screen and even
the Marco, for your presentation. Can you hear me?
You. Yes,
yes. Marco?
Yes.
I was thanking you for the presentation. I must apologize with you first because I am going ahead with a very unstable connection. So apologies on that. I will make some questions to you, waiting for the people on Facebook to make their own questions. Considering that my connection is not stable, I will make very quick and short questions, but a number of them. So it's a challenge for you, like a quiz, a TV quiz. The first question I have is concerning your presentation. which demonstrates the complexity of this topic. So my first question for you is, how can such a complex problem be represented in such complex terms and be explained clearly to the potential clients that are the city halls, the municipalities, the public bodies wanting to do this kind of innovation, nature-based solutions? That was my first question. Second question, how did COVID-19 change your plans? Because it looked like something that needs interaction among co-located people. But you mentioned that during your development phase, COVID-19 was an impediment and you moved away from the physical interaction towards online interaction. So the second question, how did COVID-19 make you change your plans? And third question is about the future. Until now, I see you got prizes at the international level, but the two cities you were involved at the moment are both Tuscan cities. So is this a local thing? Is this something that only works in Tuscany for whatever reason? Or is there any way we can think of making it broader at national and European level? These are my first three questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesco. Allora, replying to the first question, how to explain all this complexity to citizenship and city hall, because I will add also the citizens as audience of our, let's say, dialogues on this complexity. First of all, with city hall, we were, let's say, also lucky in order to find administrators that were aware of nature-based solution. But I think that the one point of strength about our approach is exactly the formalization of this design process, this design methodology. So the fact that we are able to represent in phases and trying to use keywords and specific tools in representing the overall process. So I think that this is a very important fact in order to explain this complexity, trying to establish a common language with people that doesn't know yet this topic, or it is not update, because we are able to visualize all this stuff. In fact, also the art direction of this process is about an illustration that is friendly, no? And so we try to use an accessible language and to visualize all this stuff. And the design process is extremely important in order to, let's say, give an overall perspective. So I would say these two things. How did COVID change our plans? Yeah, it was very challenging actually, because in Prato we started in February 2020, and after 1 month we were all in lockdown. So we were able to test the Star Park game, and that was very important because we made the game in live, okay, face to face. But then we shift everything. Online, and we use collaboration software tools, and we try in a way we shift all our tools, all our graphics, all our concepts in a virtual in a digital form, and thanks to collaboration tools, we set up workshop or online webinar where we were able in some way to yeah to fulfill the activities. It was very challenging, but it was very interesting because we learned a lot. We learned a lot of things. We used a lot of different tools, even in the design process. We were able to understand even what does effectively mean the digital divide, but even what the value of digital divide is extremely, let's say, is extremely influenced even by the design tools that you use. So the facilitation, even the facilitation approach that you use, but also it depends a lot, let's say the successful activity that you do, also in the target that you have that you are dealing with. We found a lot of difficulties working with the youngest. It was in our not difficulties in the sense that we did not arrive, but that the level of engagement was extremely higher in for people, let's say, older than teenagers. So Generation Z, maybe we should find more advanced tools in order to let them collaborate in a digital world. Last question: the future. No, Star Park is just for Tuscanian people. No, I'm joking. No, Star Park has been prototyped and scaled in Tuscany because we had these, let's say, quick let's say quick stakeholders to activate in Tuscany. And then it was a set of different also other dynamics in order to scale that were let's say the best thing to scale in two cities of Tuscany. But we are working with different region and cities in Italy, with the city hall, but even with private enterprises, because we would like indeed to grow and understand how Star Park can scale and diffuse in a distributed way. Star Park has an open source, let's say, skeleton, because its design methodologies, tools, this presentation, we put it online, and whoever wants can download it from our website. But at the same time, we are trying to search the right business model in order to bring this approach in cities, and applying this to different urban green spaces. So the future, in my opinion, is about some strategic asset, as I said, like the game, the Star Park game, and impact measurement that we are optimizing. We were able even to study a set of strategic, let's say, development actions, like a crowdfunding for the game that we would like to launch in few months. And so the future is about understanding how this adaptation economy, so in the sense of services, product innovation that goes in the direction of the of the new forms that arise from adapting our planet to climate change impacts. So the point is exactly this: how to leverage all these collaborative and also ludic and educational let's say assets with the possibility to sustain our work on this. And we are doing we are talking with different public call and city halls, sorry, and there is also an important uh, call that has been developed by the Minister for the Ecological Transition in Italy that can interest our activities. So we will see. I hope in a few months to give you some news.
In the meantime, there was a question raised. I think you answered. It is about how to get some of the materials you develop if other people belong to different projects and they want to share some of your materials in their own locations. How can they do? Should they contact you through the website? What is the approach to third parties that you are developing for the popularization of your methods and tools?
No, they can contact us via email or through our website. Actually, there is a toolkit, an open toolkit on the website that gives you, it's in Italian. No, maybe I think that is half and half. So you can initially read that. If you find something interesting, we can talk, we can even adapt to your needs. In order to share outputs of our processes, that those outputs are peculiar for that cities, so for Prato and Lucca, but it could be an example to show up absolutely. So yeah, and there are our email on the website. There is our website. You can download the open toolkit even.
And what about the game? Are you thinking of developing the game in multiple languages, or it's not planned at the moment?
Yeah, actually, as I said, we are working on this. I believe a lot in that title that I put in the slide, like city gaming for city making, because it's too important to understand through the game, understand all these concepts, all these implications about our future, and the game could be really a medium. Very very strong. So yes, we are going hopefully to launch this crowdfunding campaign in a few months, where one of the, let's say, objective is exactly to produce the Star Park game in English, so in other languages. Then we are open to all collaborators, partners, and whoever wants to um, support this Star Park cause, let's say.
Okay, I have one last question, and there is nothing.
No, I lost you.
Compatible benefit that you got from Designscapes to go to other.
I think that Francesco is gone. So I think that he was asking me about. Ecco.
I'm back. Sorry, it's up. Now it's up. No,
Okay.
the question was about Designscapes and other funding sources. You mentioned that not only Designscapes, but also, for example, EIT Digital and other third parties gave you some financial support. I am particularly interested, from my point of view, on the leverage that you got from design, others. Can you tell us that?
I lost the last part, Francesco, but I think that you
I
asked
was
me.
asking, yes, I was asking about the leverage that Designscapes gave you. If the fact that you got awarded by us first was relevant or helpful to help you get other funds, other resources from other sources.
I think for the Climate Kick award, yes, because we were able to tell about Star Park so we make a narration based on applied case, and this is thanks to Designscapes and all the ideas that developed in that period are based on the leverage that Designscapes offered to us. Maybe even for the CMI of Marseille, because it was exactly in the middle of the Prato case study, let's say. So I would say that yes, the more important point in all these stories about how Designscapes gives consistency to our ideas about design thinking and let's say collaborative design thinking merged to urban resilience innovation. So having believed in us, it was very, very important. And I think that all the other things that we made in this period are consequences. So yes.
Okay, I do not see any other question from the chat box. I think we can close. I want to apologize again for the bad quality of my connection and particularly thank Marco for being here this afternoon. And also I would like to remind everyone that you can always listen and watch this presentation again by contacting us on our Facebook site, facebook.com/Designscape project. I wish you a very good afternoon and happy holidays if you are about to go. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you, Francesco. Bye-bye.